Hey guys, this is Anime Ballsy here, and today we are going to be doing the third part of What If Goku Was Trained by a Fallen Angel. Please like the video if you haven't already and subscribe. It's totally free and you can unsubscribe whenever you want. There's nothing much else I'd like to say in the intro, so without further ado, let's get into the video.
Slick talker since a jet. Winter time, all the time, ooh, yeah. Look at the way that I move, swag, disrespectful and I'm rude, okay. I had cocaine in the school.
Around several concentric rings of seats, the gods sit. On the lower rings are the gods of destruction, and above each one of them is their respective angel. Overlooking this structure is the one above all, Zeno, king of everything. It was a hard battle, father, but I managed to capture Soju and his apprentice, Goku, he states. Do you see what's happened, Beerus? You could have handled this threat much more easily if you didn't spend all your time sleeping, Champa shouts at his brother in annoyance. Like you would have done any better, that Saiyan would have defeated you with ease, Beerus claims. Enough you two, we should be happy that we actually managed to capture those two, the Grand Priest says. The two gods of destruction stay silent, but it's clear that the air is thick and tense around them. Every universe was aware of Soju and who he was, an angel similar to Zamasu in ideology. He felt disdain toward mortals and weaker beings, and he was also a rather adept angel for his age, being much younger than almost all the other angels. The smallest sentence he should receive is 1,000 years. Matter of fact, they should both be erased as quickly as possible, Vardar states. Make the sentences less grave for that Saiyan. It seems that he's been manipulated by Soju. Our job won't be to change his stance on things, but we must treat him less severely as a result, the Grand Priest explains, which is met with much approval from the other people in this Council of Gods. To await trial, Goku and Soju are released from the staff, but all of the gods are present. The Grand Priest can't help but feel a little bit of sadness upon seeing the state of one of his children. His eyes look so sinister and evil, and he looks willing to attack anyone around him. He can barely keep himself still in the vicinity of all these people that he vowed to slaughter, but he knows what to do in this instance. Even after all that training, he couldn't take out all the angels at once. They are shackled in very heavy, very strong chains and are given a trial ahead of these gods. This time, the other Supreme Kais are there to watch and vote for what the outcome should be. The verdict is then made, and both fighters are to be given 1,000 years of time spent in Whis staff, and Soju, on the other hand, is to face the will of Zeno once he is released. Whatever Zeno chooses to do is up to him. The two fighters are forced back into the staff, and the Grand Priest is there to shackle them both. He then feeds Goku some weird pill before shackling him. That will slow your aging. Your 1,000 years in here will only give you a handful of years of aging. You two are to stay here for the next millennium, and I will return once that time is over to release you. As for you, Soju, I hope that Zeno chooses not to erase you, but if he does, the Grand Priest says. He then makes his exit, and the two warriors are stranded there, physically restrained. Soju, after everything that has taken place, can't hold it in anymore. He roars and releases all his power and rage in one single power-up and rattles the surrounding area. His dark aura enlarges and takes form once again, and he musters all of the strength that he can to try and free himself from the chains. Soju cannot, and so their 1,000 years in this staff ensues. On Earth, Vegeta starts training and is the strongest person on Earth. After his years of going rogue and training across the galaxy, he learned to ground himself a lot more and his ego dwindled away over time. He is still quite arrogant, but has learned to control himself a lot more. After Goku was sentenced, Beerus actually takes a visit to Earth to see that there are only two Saiyans on Earth and there is no Super Saiyan God. After being beat down by Beerus, Vegeta stops him. Wait, Beerus, could you please train me? Vegeta asks. Beerus stops and thinks about his statement. He thinks back to Goku and that he's going to be released in just 1,000 years. Of course, to him, 1,000 years is nothing, and he could end up wasting that time sleeping and eating quite easily. Fine, don't disappoint me. If your progress is too slow, I won't continue to train you, Beerus states. Of course, Beerus, I'm grateful, he says. With this, their training begins and Vegeta is given the power of Super Saiyan God quite quickly. Just for simplicity, I'll say that 1 day outside Whis staff translates to 500 days inside, and so Vegeta has 2 years training with Beerus during this time. Frieza is revived and Vegeta is tasked with trying to face Frieza, but he actually can't best him at all. Instead, Beerus is kind enough to take out Frieza so that he doesn't lose his growing future sparring partner. Due to the current atmosphere within the universes from the recent events, I'd assume that the Universe 6 saga doesn't take place. Also, there is no future timeline in this continuity, so the future Trunks saga doesn't take place. This means that Zamasu isn't taken out before he tries to enact his plan and is kept under Gowasu while his hatred for mortals continues to grow. Zamasu intends to kill Gowasu, steal the time ring, and summon the Super Dragon Balls. The Tournament of Destroyers doesn't occur, and so Zamasu did not get to watch any godly Saiyans on GodTube. Therefore, his wishes have changed, and now he is merely trying to wish for godly power. Inside the staff, Goku and Soju are still restrained, while Soju can barely accept what has taken place. He continues to tug and tug at the chains, and one day he just totally snaps. He shouts at the very top of his lungs and continues to scream while pouring out all of his emotion and power. Soon enough, the chains start to squeak, and with a final push, he releases himself. I'm free. Now Goku, you know what we must do. During this time we shall train just like we have, but this training will carry on for centuries. By the time we are done in here, they will stand no chance against us. Yes master, Beerus won't stand a chance against me once I'm out of here, Goku says, making Soju chuckle. Maybe even the angels will pale in comparison to your power. You Saiyans really are the perfect warriors, Soju says. The 2 years on the outside end quite quickly, and Vegeta has gained access to Super Saiyan Blue. He hasn't yet got an evolution, and his base form is significantly weaker than it was in the Tournament of Power arc that would have been happening around this time. On the inside, the two warriors have been training for centuries on end, and Goku's power has increased vast amounts. After spending centuries facing an angel and getting stronger after each brutal fight, he is relative to Soju in strength. However, he hasn't managed to surpass Soju since he has grown a lot in strength also. Once their time is over, Soju uses his ability to create objects to bind them in chains again. His ability is rusty however, and he hasn't used it for centuries, so it takes a lot of effort and focus for him to do so. Your sentences are over, you two. Goku, you are free to go once you leave this place. As for you, Soju, let's hope that Zeno shows you mercy, he says, before placing them in handcuffs instead of the chains. After this, they are released to see all the gods of destruction and angels present. They stand on a large checkered platform with pillars that reveal the blackness around them that is filled with floating rocks and stars. Beerus and Whis are there, while Vegeta has taken this time to return to his family on Earth, while also spending time with his other earthly companions. Beerus, Whis, return the Saiyan to Universe 7. As for you, Soju, you will have to follow me, he states. The Grand Priest continues walking, expecting the two criminals to follow after him, but they both do not. After noticing such, he remains stood still and exhales. Do not do anything rash, you two. Remember, you won't be as strong as you were when you entered that staff, the Grand Priest says, turning. In reaction, Soju just chuckles, then shatters the handcuffs to pieces with a simple pull. Goku does the same. The Grand Priest's face of nonchalance switches to that of shock once he sees this happen. You'll all perish, Soju roars, before releasing all his power. The ground on which they stand rumbles and even cracks apart, but the first person to attempt to face him is Whis. The other angels aren't as willing to break the angel code, but Whis has done so before and is much more willing to do so again. He swivels his staff around swiftly in his advance. He strikes down his staff in an attempt to take him out, but Soju swiftly evades, using his Ultra Instinct to do so. The ground beneath them splits in half upon impact, and Whis stays relentless. He continues trying to hit Soju and uses all of his effort to do so. However, Soju continues to evade every one of his incoming attacks, and the other angels look wary upon watching this fight continue. Landing back on hard ground, Whis hurls forward a kick that Soju just catches with ease. Whis shakes to try and release his fist from his grasp, but he simply can't. His grasp on him is too tight, and Soju takes his chance to punch Whis himself. Blood trickles down his face, and he ends up coughing out more blood while holding his face. His palm gets filled with blood, and Soju pounces like a predator. He throws a downward punch that Whis manages to evade by stepping back. Once he does so, the entire floor that they were standing on shatters to bits and pieces. You won't run from me forever, Whis, Soju roars, chasing after him. Goku is then surrounded by all of the gods of destruction fighters, but he looks unfazed. Beerus, I am levels above you now and levels above all of you. Even together, your attempt at resistance will be futile, Goku claims, making his stance. Let's see, Hitler shouts, shooting himself toward him. Goku then just punches through his chest entirely, killing him. The other gods of destruction are horrified by how quickly he did this, but the only person who remains calm is Beerus. You're all gonna hold me back, I'm the only one of us who can face him, so stand back, Beerus roars, entering his fury state. It wouldn't be like last time saying I've been training too, Beerus says. Goku chucks Kitella's body off his fist before wiping the blood coating it. I've had centuries of training while you've only had 2 at the maximum. Do you really think you stand a chance? Goku asks. Goku seems a lot more solemn after his centuries in the staff, and it's like his mind is as strong as a brick wall. Beerus doesn't even reply and charges at Goku as the other gods of destruction step away to give them space. Goku catches the first punch, but Beerus then lands a straight gut punch. Goku steps back in reaction but smirks upon feeling the lack of force behind his strike. Beerus then aims higher and attempts to land a straight punch on his face, but entering UI Omen, he seamlessly evades the strike. His fist soars past his face, leaving a large portion of Beerus' body open, and Goku can't help but punch him right in the open area of his body. Beerus coughs blood upon receiving this attack and holds his broken rib in agony. He almost can't believe how strong this Saiyan has become and cowers away as Goku advances. Where are you running to? You gods should have known that this day would be inevitable, Goku says, walking across the white checkered platform. Beerus coughs even more blood and the injuries are seeming to worsen as time passes. His retreat turns into an uncontrolled stagger and Goku smiles upon watching his growing weakness. Perish, Goku says, raising his palm. Now Champa, Beerus shouts, revealing an earring. Champa thinks twice about just letting himself fuse with his brother for possibly forever. The Super Dragon Balls will split us, Champa thinks to himself, before placing the Potara on. Bright lights come off Beerus and Champa before they soar toward each other, becoming a single being. Goku doesn't look as confident as before upon seeing this happen. I am the fusion between Beerus and Champa. Champus, prepare for defeat, he shouts. The 2 fighters commence their battle and slam into each other in the center of the extensive platform. They both seem like equals and start pushing at one another, and Champus starts gaining the advantage. Goku continues to get pushed back, but during this power struggle he calmly exhales and enters his Master UI form. This stops him from further retreating, but the power struggle breaks soon after. They exchange blows for a time and seem like equals, being masters of different crafts. Champus possesses amazing raw power and technique, while Goku is much better when it comes to battle intelligence and speed. Champa comes driving in with a jumping punch, but Goku manages to slip past the attack, finally striking him in his gut. This causes the ground beneath to crack since there is simply so much force behind his strike, and the 2 fighters then come to a stop with heavy pants and bleeding wounds. Across the battlefield, Whis is barely staying in the fight and Soju is having the time of his life. After the centuries of training in his own staff, the gap between them has widened. Go and help your brother Vardos, Champa shouts back. Since Vardos has been granted this order by her god of destruction, she won't be destroyed if she tries to step in. All of the other angels get this pass from their gods of destruction except for Kitella's attendant Cognac, since he is now dead. They prepare to battle and Soju looks ready himself, but then the Grand Priest steps in. No, there will be no need for you all to step in. I shall take down my child myself. This has gone on long enough, Soju, the Grand Priest says, rising in flight to meet him at his level. It has gone on for long enough. I should have obliterated you all millennia ago, Soju roars, before attempting to fight his father. He lands the first strike and leaves a bruise on him. The other angels are in complete shock as they have, in their incredibly long lives, never seen this happen. I never thought I would have ever been forced to use my full power against one of my own children, let alone my youngest one, he says, before erupting in a massive aura. His aura is of a pristine white-blue colour, and Soju's crackling black aura can't match his in terms of size and pressure. This ends now, the Grand Priest declares. So that will conclude the 3rd part of What If Goku Was Trained by a Fallen Angel. Please tell me something you liked about this video or something that I should improve on for the next part. Thanks so much for watching and I'll see you in the next video.